Hi, my name is Leah Day, and welcome to this video for the Dancing Butterfly Quilt. Today we're learning a new design called Zigzag Path. It's a lot of straight lines and sharp angles and echoes, and I'm sure you're going to like it. So let me show you the worksheet and some tips on tracing and practicing before we get started. So here's what this design looks like. It's a really funky, zigzaggy design, and I've put it two different ways into these triangles within the worksheet. And just in case you're looking for this sheet, you can find it in the Dancing Butterfly Quilt pattern. You can actually click right here and find this pattern at leahday.com. Okay, so to practice this design, what you want to do is at least, get your square knocked out and what, sorry.
Concise and fast.
Yeah, snap. So here's the zigzag path design, and here's how it's going to work. You're going to start in a corner and just create this zigzaggy line, and then all you do is travel stitch and echo. You can see why this design goes so well with Echo Shell, the other design we just learned, because they're both echoing designs. We're just basically stitching the zigzag and then echoing on both sides. I've given you two different styles of zigzag. This one over here starts in the corners. This one over here, you would travel stitch up and then zigzag to hit the middle point rather than the outer edge. So two different zigzags, two different, slightly different looks, but definitely play with both of them. Spend some time tracing this design and practicing as you stitch it both on the line and freehand. So now let's move to our block and I'll show you what I've done to get it set up and ready to go. Okay, so to get started, we're just going to stitch from one edge of your quilting space to the other. And one important tip is to keep the index finger of your right hand parallel with the needle as you stitch a straight line. Generally helps to keep that straight line straight rather than getting too wiggly wobbly. There we go. And remember, you can stitch the starting zigzag however you want. You could even mark it just to kind of have a game plan in mind. I'm going to start from this corner and just zigzag randomly. However these end up is going to be perfectly fine. I'm not aiming for symmetry here. If it ends up being symmetrical, that'd be great, but if it's not, that's okay too. So you might be wondering why I turned my block around like that. I've been finding that for some reason with this yellow thread color, my machine doesn't like to stitch backwards. So it's one of those things that you might notice as you're quilting too. I don't know what's up with this yellow spool of thread, but it's given me some trouble, so I want to be careful as I use it. Make sure not to stitch backwards, otherwise I'll probably end up with a thread break. Okay, so that is my nice foundation set up. And I'm just going to travel stitch along that first starting line. Get in until I see about 1/2 inch between my needle and that zigzag line. And that's when I'll come inside and echo. Just stitch a line parallel with that zigzag line. Travel stitch some more. And you're just visually estimating this space. I'm not picking up a ruler or anything like that. I'm just looking at it and eyeballing and saying, hey, that's about 1/2 inch. And that's when I stitch inside and echo quilt it. So that's it for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed learning how to quilt Zigzag Path. If you'd like to learn more designs and how to stitch them in a real beautiful butterfly quilt, definitely click here to go check out the Dancing Butterfly Quilt pattern at leahday.com. This is a quilt pattern I came up with, and I've included loads of videos, tons of designs, awesome worksheets for you to practice tracing. It's really going to be a great pattern to jump in with both feet and learn both applique and free motion quilting. So click here, check it out, and I can't wait to see you in your version of the Dancing Butterfly Quilt. Until next time, let's go quilt.